Hey everyone, GrimmChorizo here. Welcome to Ringside Predictions. TLC's this Sunday, so I'm here to give you my predictions. First off, we've got Ryback versus Rusev, a match that is coming out of a match they had 2 weeks ago. Basically, it was Ryback versus Rusev. Rusev and Lana are back together. Rusev decided to lose by countout after Lana was injured by the steps. Then the next week, Lana got injured, and Ryback got suckered into getting put in the Accolade on the outside by Rusev. Rusev is also now part of a stable known as the League of Nations, who are basically the top heels. So it would be important for Rusev to win this match, you would think. But I think Ryback is going to win it, because Rusev basically has gotten the upper hand on Ryback every chance that they've got, and I just think that the League of Nations, even though they should be booked like, badasses, outside of Sheamus, I think the other three are kind of just gonna, do whatever. But I think Ryback wins this, and I don't think there's really going to be anything special about this match. Divas Championship, Charlotte with Ric Flair in her corner versus Paige. Now this is weird and interesting, well, hardly even interesting, but a few weeks ago, the seeds have been planted for a Charlotte heel turn. That is interesting, that's cool. It was her against Becky, and she cheated with the help of her dad to beat Becky. Then on SmackDown that week, she cost Becky her match after Brie ran into her. So Charlotte didn't mean to cost her the match, or did she? Okay, so the story there is building between Becky and Charlotte, but you still have this Paige and Charlotte feud going on, where Charlotte, now people don't want to like her because she's cheating, and you've got Paige, who was right all along about Charlotte, but you don't want to see her as a face because she's such a good heel. So you have this kind of heel, Paige, that is getting cheered, Charlotte, this face, who's getting booed and doing heelish things going against each other, and Ric Flair is in Charlotte's corner. So I think Charlotte's going to retain, but she's going to cheat to do it. But I don't really see what that does other than maybe turn Paige face again, which would kind of suck. They should have just waited to start this story with Becky and Charlotte's heel turn until after the Paige storyline. So I think it's just a big cluster, but I think Charlotte retains, but I think she's going to use dirty tactics to do so. Alberto Del Rio defending the United States Championship against Jack Swagger in a chairs match. I hate chairs matches. I just think they're so stupid. Why not just do a no disqualification match? You can use all the chairs you fucking want, but you can use anything else. Anyways, these guys have feuded so much in the past. It's never been anything exciting. The only bit of interesting thing here is Zeb Coulter was with Alberto Del Rio, then on Raw, Del Rio was like, fuck off. So now I'm guessing Zeb Coulter's going to realign with Swagger, but I still don't think Swagger's winning the U.S. title. There's no chance. He hasn't done anything all year. He just pops up. There's no way they're putting the title on him. I think Del Rio retains, and Del Rio's also part of this League of Nations, who he's been booked, pretty well, but he hasn't been anything exciting at all. So I think he's going to hold the title so he can drop it to John Cena when he returns. So I think Del Rio retains, and I think this match is going to be pretty lame, because it's a chairs match. Fuck chairs matches. Then we got a match I am looking forward to. The New Day defending the WWE Tag Team titles against the Usos and the Lucha Dragons in a triangle ladder match. This is awesome. I've been wanting them to do a 3-team ladder match for so long. I don't think there's been one since the days of the Dudleys and Edge and Christian and the Hardys. And it's funny, they have the Dudleys on the roster and they're not in this. Anyways, these 3 teams are all really exciting. They're fun to watch, and to my knowledge, just thinking off the top of my head, I don't think hardly any of them have been in ladder matches except Kofi. I could be wrong on that, and I guess Sin Cara, but I think it was the other Sin Cara in the ladder matches. But this should be an exciting, fun match, but it also has a lot of room for, injury and error and botches and stuff. But assuming everything goes right, this match could definitely steal the show. Unfortunately, I think the Usos are going to win. And I say unfortunately because they just returned recently. They're mainly caught up in the thing with Roman Reigns. They're kind of feuding with the New Day, but the Lucha Dragons over the past few weeks are the ones who've actually been wrestling the New Day. I think Lucha Dragons are just in there to look awesome, do some cool spots. I'd like to see the Lucha Dragons win over the Usos, because Usos have held the titles twice already, and they're basically the Roman Reigns / John Cena of the tag team division. And I'd also love to see New Day retain. I just don't see it happening in a match where, the chances of them losing are so much higher. But then again, There's no disqualification, so assuming Xavier Woods isn't in the match legally, he could just climb up the ladder and get the titles. So I could see New Day winning, but I'm just going to say my prediction is the Usos because they're Roman Reigns' cousins. Then we've got a 4-on-4 elimination tables match. This should be fun too. It's the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, and Braun Strowman versus the team of ECW originals, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Tommy Dreamer, and Rhino. So this is pretty awesome, but this would have been a perfect Survivor Series match. You've got all these stables now forming, like the League of Nations, Roman Reigns and Company, as they're calling it, which is him, Dean Ambrose, and Usos. You've got the League of Nations, you've got the Wyatt family, you've got the ECW originals. I mean, that's 4 teams of 4 right there that could have easily been Survivor Series matches. But they're doing it a month late. I think this is going to be pretty sweet. You know you're going to see a gore through a table, which will be all worth it. But God, I'm predicting this and hoping to God that the Wyatt family win. They lost against the Brothers of Destruction last month. And what did that do for the Brothers of Destruction? You haven't seen Undertaker or Kane recently. You know, they just won, and that's it. If the Wyatt family had won, they had all this momentum. We just beat fucking Undertaker and Kane. We can stop anyone. Now, you know, it's making me question if they can even beat Rhino, Tommy Dreamer, and the Dudleys. But I think it would be dumb for the ECW originals to win because they're all here to put over the new guys. And this is a perfect chance for them to do it in their own type of match, an extreme environment, in a tables match. Because, I mean, Braun Strowman isn't going through a table unless he falls off the ring, the apron, and through one like Big Show did at Extreme Rules 2012. But, you know, Rowan's going through a table, Harper's probably going through a table, and I think Bray and Braun will probably stand tall. Intercontinental Championship, Kevin Owens defending against Dean Ambrose. This should be a good match, but I'm not as excited as I should be because the build has been, you know, this past week, Dean Ambrose just went out and threw soda and popcorn in Owens' face. That doesn't get me excited about a match. You know, that doesn't do anything for me. But I'm sure this match, it doesn't have a stipulation, it's going to be good. But I think Kevin Owens retains because I think he's holding this thing to WrestleMania, and I still am hoping that Sami Zayn, who has just returned on NXT, will make it up to the main roster to feud with Kevin Owens. I almost don't want him to go to the main roster because they'll ruin him, but it just makes sense for him to go after Kevin Owens. So I think Kevin Owens retains against Dean Ambrose. And then the main event, a TLC match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Sheamus defending against Roman Reigns. I've got to say, since Sheamus won the title, he has been on fire. He has been entertaining. He has been funny. He's felt like a champion. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, has been less entertaining than he's ever been, and he's never been that entertaining to me. It just feels so forced, so bland, so boring. He's not an underdog, yet they're doing everything in their power to make him an underdog. And then on the other hand, they're doing everything in their power to make him look like a fucking, you know, strong Superman badass by having him beat all 4 members of the League of Nations in one night. Like, holy shit. Fuck. But I don't think Roman Reigns is going to win the title here because I think the League of Nations are going to get involved. The numbers game, as Michael Cole says every other fucking match, is going to get to Roman Reigns. Sheamus will retain the title. This will carry on to Royal Rumble, and Roman Reigns will win the title there, is what I'm guessing. But this match, I mean, it could be good. It could have some cool spots. But, man, I am not into this Roman push at all. It's worse to me now than it was around WrestleMania. And it was bad then, but his promos are shit. He's not doing anything exciting. It just feels... everything revolves around him. And I hate it. I hate it. I mean, it sucks because everyone's injured. So many people are out. And they're relying too hard on people that aren't as over as they think they are. Like Roman Reigns. So, yeah. I think Sheamus retains, but Roman will get it next month. So those are my predictions for TLC. To be honest, I'm not that excited for it. I'm excited for a few matches, like the ladder match. I'm excited for the table match. And I'm excited for Ambrose and Owens. But outside of that, not that excited. The TLC match could be good, but I'm not that excited for it. I'm just not a huge fan of TLC, the pay-per-view. I don't like these gimmick pay-per-views very much, except a few, like Money in the Bank. I didn't mind Elimination Chamber being its own pay-per-view, or the Royal Rumble, obviously. But I don't like having a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, or an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, or a TLC pay-per-view. Because then you don't get to see those matches throughout the year. It just seems really dumb to me. I'd rather this be Armageddon. And, you know, they have a TLC match on it just because it makes sense or something like that. Having a pay-per-view that's based around 3 weapons, like tables, ladders, and chairs, that just guarantees you're going to have those 3 type of matches, even though it doesn't make sense. Swagger and Del Rio wouldn't have been fighting each other with chairs if it weren't TLC coming up. You know, the Dudleys, it makes sense because of tables. But, I mean, Reigns and Sheamus, why else would they be in a TLC match other than that just being the pay-per-view? I don't know. And I also don't like Night of Champions. It's really stupid because there's so little titles anyways. They're all going to be defended on the show anyways. Look at TLC. Every title's on the line. It's not called Night of Champions. Anyways. Yeah, I think TLC could be okay. But, I mean, the past few years it just hasn't really done anything for me. But thanks for watching my predictions. Let's hope it's a good one. And we'll see how my predictions line up. But thanks for watching. See you next month for the Royal Rumble.